it's Fran here. I'm going to teach you this song, Come and Go Blues, the way that I think it should be done, which is kind of like a combination of, you know, there's going to be some keyboard parts in here, some piano parts, because we're going to be filling in some of the blanks, because I don't have a piano player here. After spending a few days with this song, I'm starting to get a feel for it, even more so than when the video I just put out with the cover of it. Yeah, there's a video where I cover the song. I'm gonna add it to the end screen of this video. This is just the lesson part. This song, Come and Go Blues, from Brothers and Sisters, starts out with this cool little lick. So the piano is doing the first part of that lick on the album. And the guitar just comes in. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is combining some of these parts so that you can play it all, you know, just on the guitar. This intro lick is, there's a couple ways you can do it. You could do it down here. And since you have to hit this double note on the G, then it takes you a second to get up there. That's kind of why I like doing it here. We're at the 6th fret, first finger on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. That's going to be like our starting point. So you got that much of it. 6, 9, 7 on the next string, and then 8, 7, 5 on the 4th string. And then unison with this G and this open G. Got that? Try it out. Unison bend, laser bend at the 6th fret with the 2nd and 3rd strings. Then move it up to the 8th fret. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can support the channel by going to the link down in the description, or just, you know, hitting the thanks or the super thanks button. Any of those donations are greatly appreciated. And feedback is good, you know? Sometimes feedback hurts. You gotta hear it to get better. People say so this first chord is G7. See that? Then we're doing a G diminished. It's basically that these 3 notes are going down 1 fret and then another fret, but keeping this G as the root. And then G. So the G that I'm doing is, it's really a G5. There's no 3rd in it. It's basically, it's at the 3rd fret, and then this little blues lick. 3, 2, 0 on the G string, and then 3rd fret on the 1st string. And the picking, the strumming on it is kind of like this, like chicken picking thing. In the first verse, it does this like sustained first chord. That's because the keyboards are doing that first chord and holding it out. But really the guitar in the background is just going. doing it really lightly on the strings. And it probably could mean that he's just doing it with his thumb. Any one of these things is something that you could practice for 2 hours, you know, just trying to be able to strum with your thumb. And it's a little advanced, but, you know, even just doing it like this with a pick. That's something that you could just concentrate on, just practicing that for forever. And the opening lick. You know, how to get it to voice right. I like doing this pinky as a hammer on. I guess I should have said that a second ago, but that's what I'm talking about, is like, you know, just breaking down each part and trying to discover different ways that you could get it to voice out. So these first chords, you could actually do them up here. If you're not using the root note, because then it becomes a little tricky to keep this G in there. But if you're just doing these 3 notes, which is 12th fret on the 4th string, 10th fret on the 3rd string, and 12th fret on the 2nd string. You can hear he's doing some of those little variations in there sometimes where he's hitting this 12th fret on the 1st string. Another thing that you could break down and practice, or you could switch back and forth between this way. The next part is the chorus, pretty simple. Lord, you got those come and go blues. D, F, and C, G, if you don't want to play the little slinky line. But to me, I mean, how could you not want to play that? That's like the best part of the song. But if you just can't do it, or you can't do it because you're singing and playing at the same time, which is a whole nother realm of practicing and dissecting stuff, then you just write on this G. But this lick, it's gonna start with the first 2 fingers that you would use like for an F chord. Lord, you got those come and go. So if these 2 fingers are here for a C, you just bring them up 1 string. And you hear that there's a little twerk on it. Move it up 2 frets. Bar the 3rd fret. Makes it sound nice and bluesy. And then just pull off on this 3rd fret on the D string to the open D. I can't figure out or find the harmony. Well, I can find it, but I just can't find a way to play it and have it sound smooth. The most practical place. It goes by so quick you don't even notice. So that's another thing. It's like you can just break that down and practice that forever, and it'll help you in other songs. You know, so it's not like anything you're learning on this song isn't going to translate over into another technique somewhere else. Well, Fran, why aren't you starting with these 2 fingers? Those are the ones I'm strongest with. Well, it's because you got to do this. So deciding what fingers to use as like a chess match because you need other fingers in different places. Woman, you got those come and go blues. C. Oh, you got me feeling like a fool. So C and then F, C. Could do it here. But I think, you know, because the song is like probably written in an open tuning. I know there's a lot of lessons for it as an open tuning song, an open G. Because Greg does it on his album, one of his solo albums, and it sounds like an open tuning. To be able to do all the Dickie Betts licks, you got to be in standard, or else it just becomes. A lot of the times these chords you won't hear the third in them, like this note here. I'm doing it when I can as bar chords, C, and then this F, because it sounds more like the beef of an open tuning. Like a fool. Piano solo comes out of that part back into the lick. And then we're back into a verse. The second verse. At the end of the second verse, it goes into a bridge. I don't know. I can't say 'cause I can't see it. Those lyrics right there, I mean, all the lyrics in this song are so great. I mean, it can relate to it so much. Come and go blues, you know, you're in a relationship, you're going back and forth. We've all been there. And he's saying, I can't say because I can't see it. He's too close. He's too close to the fire. He can't, you know, make a rational judgment. So we got a G. Third is probably not in there. So you're just doing like a G5. And then up to this F. Like the same thing with these two fingers locked in on the second fret of the first two strings, but your middle finger is going to the F. And then that's kind of like following what the vocal harmonies are doing within that chord. And then a C add 9. Everybody knows this. I don't know. So right there, it just modulated up to B flat, you know, because we were doing that lick. In G. Now we're bringing it up to B flat. And then that little tail on the end, like turns it from the blues scale into, you know, sounding major. Got these two fingers, the ring and the pinky on the B string at the 8th fret, B string and the G string, and then this double stop here with your middle finger on the 7th fret of the G string and your ring finger on the 8th fret of the D string. There's another thing you can practice, just those 3 double stops. That could be an hour of just doing that. So we're at the beginning of it, we end up on this F down here at the 3rd fret. If you want to just play the chord, it's B flat. modulates up again to C for the solo. So far, you know, we were in G, and then it lifted up to B flat. For the solo, it goes up to C. So we've like modulated up a couple times. At the end of the solo, it's going to go up again to D for the. And then resolves back into G. All right, so let's talk about the solo. It's going to be a lot of notes in here. We're just going to pull it off like a little section at a time. We're starting out with the C major scale. Right. So we're skipping a note that's in the scale in there to do this, you know. So that's something that you can break down and just work on that. And then the variation on that. So that becomes like you're skipping these two middle fingers, the notes that these middle fingers would normally play in that scale to do this variation. Did you catch that? That's the first part. Work on that and then get this one. You got that. You can do that by ear. It's starting on the 5th string, 3rd fret with the middle finger. Sorry. And then you can move it up an octave. So now we're at the 10th fret of the 4th string, the D string. Still playing it with your middle finger. Then you have to shift up there to your first finger being on the 10th fret of the B string. So it's the same as this. It's just an octave higher. And then the second part of that, moving a little bit here to the 8th fret, where your first finger is on the 2nd string, 8th fret. So you just take that little lick right there and dissect it and try to burn that into your brain. Pretty common fingering there, where you're just kind of like in this little box right here. I guess the tricky part of it is that you bend this note and then hit it again as it's coming down to give it that twangy thing. So you got that? Whoa, that's where the modulation happens up to D. So we're doing that with the middle finger. Now we have this same little box up here. It just moved from 8 to 10. So you take that lick on and just try to, you know, get used to it. And then we're going to add on to the end of it. Got it? So that's a similar lick to the one that we were just doing here. There's so many little notes in there, and some of them are picked louder than the others to give it that kind of like, you know, it kind of sounds like Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia and Dickeybetts, they mine a lot of the same territories. They're panning for gold, and they do this like picking thing where, you know, some notes are a little louder than other ones, and it gives it the soul, it gives it the emotion. The next little lick that we're going to learn is you're trying to hear that and emulate it. Here we go. Next one. We're starting at the 10th fret in the same spot that we just were. Sliding back with the middle finger back to 9 on the G string. So it's like one little phrase is ending and the next one is beginning. So the next phrase is going to be and then the one after that is that's going to be the next one we work on. Resolves on G. There's a little piano lick there. Slab-a-dubby-lick-a-da-bong-bong-ba-ding bong. And we can do that right here. Which is an F. We came out of that solo. So F, we could play here because we're about to do this. So you play an F up at the 8th fret with your root note on the 5th string. And to do that little Jimi Hendrix sounding thing, you're going to take this ring finger and slide up from the 10th to the 12th on the 5th string. Down to C. F, C. People say you're not good. Everything from that point on is something we've already learned. So we're in good shape. I mean, I know it's kind of confusing. I'm trying to teach it in a way that is less confusing. I wonder if it turns out to be more confusing. I don't really learn things through tabs unless I'm just super confused about what the notes are that I'm listening to, and I'll look something up and be like, oh, okay, I see it. It makes sense. It's 3, 2, 4. But when you have someone, you know, spilling it out for you, it should make it a little bit easier so you're not like locked in to the numbers. But everyone's got their own way of doing it, and this just happens to be my way, where I'm trying to show it by you listening to the lick and trying to emulate it. So that solo is like a big mountain of notes that like one phrase ends and the next phrase begins, and you just gotta like dissect it one little phrase at a time, and then try to tie all the phrases together. My name's francapitanelli. That'll do it. We'll see you next time. Bye.